Okay, we're going to call this Rebuilding Your Swing for Winter. So I'm going to give you a little backstory. I decided to rebuild my swing a while ago before I made this, and how I came up with the idea of how I was going to rebuild it is I thought, well, what if I just get myself to just be totally responsive to this natural feeling of the club swinging. So I sort of started with that kind of idea. And I quickly discovered, I've been spending my whole life applying way more force and effort than I need into my swing. I was quickly hitting it just as far with about a third the energy. And then, of course, like all things, you build it up, and then some dumb idea takes over, and you take it apart and build it up. But here's my idea. So this is two parts, two things that you can work on to rebuild your swing from scratch, and I don't think of them as one necessarily preceding the other. It's a thing that has to go back and forth. So what I've arrived at through as a good motion through the ball is the opposite really of what the club naturally wants to do, which is the club has a little mass outside of the shaft, so as you go this way, the head wants to flip that way, and as you go this way, the head wants to flip that way. Right? That's natural motion related to this object, but I would argue there's no real natural motion in terms of how our bodies work. Our bodies create a motion to accomplish a task. So if you change the task, your motion is going to be different. It's not that it's natural. It starts to feel natural when you've done the task a lot, like walking around, but initially there was nothing comfortable feeling about walking around. We were all stumbling and falling, and then our bodies kept figuring it out because we knew what the task was, which was to move from here to there. So let's make the task. So you want two things, right? You want to produce a reasonable amount of speed in a golf swing. More the merrier, right? And then, more importantly, you want to be able to control the direction of your shot, the shape of your shot, the spin of your shot, all those little elements, consistency. So power is coming from the big muscles, which is what the trainer is for, and accuracy is coming from, say that again, accuracy is coming from having an intention, I believe, to move through the ball in a certain way. So instead of moving through the ball this way, I think everybody needs to learn how to move through the ball in a way that's more controlled, where the club face has a moment where there isn't much rotation going on, so it's really stable. So I don't think you have to. I think the mistake people make is then they look at golfers and they say, well, they're doing this elbow move and they're doing, you don't need to, your body will sort out how to move if it understands what it's trying to do. So what I'm trying to do is just move through the space like that and hit the ground in the right place. And I think this is the way to get that maneuver. So go up, around, and through that way. So watch them and watch this. This is going to be the training, one of the two training exercises you can do over and over and over until it becomes a ingrained, comfortable motion. So just like that. So it's a little circular motion, which will drop the club then already moving in the right direction, and then all I need to do is pick it up and turn through it. So you'll notice my body doesn't do much at first. It goes back and then everything through. So I don't get here and start going there. I go there, so I'm in the right place and down. So I'm going to toss it turn with it. So a little bit of a toss, and then turn with it. So practice that over and over, and you can really overdo it. That's fine. Go way up. If you can do that over and over and over again until that feels comfortable, you will have created the proper motion through the ball, which is not this, it's this. So you can see that if I go this way, the club is staying relatively square. If I go this way, it's opening and closing a lot. So, and keep it at a level where you can stay with the task. Don't do two of those and say, okay, now I've got it, now I'm going to turn this into a full swing. You don't want to do that. You want to stay with this task as small as you can. Just keep it small, keep it small, keep it small. Get it totally ingrained. Because when you go big, you're going to go back to your motor pattern that you already have. So keep it small. And the upside is it feels really cool to do it. So that will capture your attention. And then, so now you have that action. Now we're going to put that away for a minute, and we're going to deal with what does the whole body need to do to be effective in a swing. So what the whole body needs to do is use its mass and gravity to drive the swing rather than independent motion of the arms. So that's what this is for. So work on heave it back, let it drop, rotate through. And the tempo of this move is to go step, throw, 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 step, throw. And you'll notice when you're doing this yourself, notice how you don't add downward force. There's no reason, and it's not even really probably possible. You let it reach its height, start to drop, pick it up, rotate everything with it. So step, 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 step. Just like that. So now you've got that motion. Now let's go back to our club. So we'll go a step, step, up, down, through. Alright, I came out of that a little bit, so I hit it thin. Try again. So really attend to, so when you're hitting the ball, attend to your task, which is to move the club through this space, hit the ground in the right place. That's the main task of golf right there. So I'm going to feel my motion in my body, and I'm going to attend to my task better this time. So much better that one. So there you go. So then back and forth, back and forth. Put some full swings together and partial swings, but this little move, and these should be like I'm hitting a 7-iron here, 60 yards, 70 yards is fine. Just little shots like that to ingrain that motion. And then, conversely, no harm in being overly aggressive with this. So, because when you go back to a club, that motion will, I think, settle down. Now, you do have to keep your head in one place. You're not doing this move. So, overly aggressive would be, if I'm staying relatively in the same place, I can go at this. And just feel what your body's doing. Feel what that move is like. If you're really aggressive, it's a good workout. And then back to your club. Really aggressive body move, but the tension is right on this action. action here, so. Let's see what that one does. So, it's good shot. So, that's it. Yeah, work on those two things. So, get a good physical body move, pay attention to the fine details of what's happening, and then you have to combine those things. And isn't that kind of what golf is, right? It's combining this extremely precise behavior with a really athletic motion that makes you a good golfer.